Get local weather from local people right here on CBS3.
Tonight, Duluth police weigh in after police reform legislation is passed in Minnesota. A look at how it will impact the DPD.
Plus, planning for the unknown as a local mine sits closed indefinitely. One Minnesota legislator is working to ensure those miners have something to fall back on. And
more mask mandates. 2 more Northland cities have voted to require face coverings in public places.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, we're learning more about the massive police reform bill passed in the overnight hours at the state capitol.
We're hearing from Duluth Police about the 15 new pieces of reform, which will apply not only to DPD, but every department across the state. The reform comes just 8 weeks after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
CBS3's John Cardinelli spoke with the Duluth police chief about the legislation today and explains how it will have an impact here in the Northland.
It was an historic morning for Minnesota's second special session.
In a special session, 15 provisions is amazing.
Those 15 provisions, part of a bill that aims to reform policing across the state of Minnesota.
This legislation, for me, shows me that they did their homework.
Duluth Police Chief Mike Tuskin says one particular thing stood out to him on the bill: arbitration reform.
This is really arbitration reform to me. Is much more about holding up the good work of the people we have, and it also is holding into account people who are in this profession that perhaps should not be.
The new provision on arbitration would create a panel of 6 appointed community members to provide oversight on the process in an effort to make it more transparent.
This is a very good first step to moving in the direction of professionalizing, further professionalizing policing.
Other provisions in the bill call for the banishment of chokeholds and warrior-style training.
For us, for more than 20 years, we haven't taught or trained chokeholds.
While Chief Tuskin says the department is already following much of what the bill calls for, there will be some new changes for the department.
Now there's going to be use of force reporting that's mandated to the Minnesota Post Board. That will be monthly, and so it's just us. We'll be having to do some reporting that we otherwise haven't been doing.
Overall, Chief Tuskin says the bill is something that is needed.
The changes that were made were necessary and will improve the end work product that we provide our communities.
While some lawmakers say more legislation will need to be passed in the future.
It will not end there with the passage of this bill, because there's a lot of work that will be required to protect black bodies.
For more information on the bill and a list of other provisions passed early this morning, you can head on over to our website. Dave's here for a quick look at the weather. Dave, feels more like an April or May evening out there than a July night.
Yeah, that long warm spell went away for a couple of days and may be gone through tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Finally perking up again by the weekend. And the rain, that's finally slowing down. Not so perky anymore, starting to go away. And so it leaves still gray conditions. Here's a shot earlier this evening from Proctor, First National Bank. You can see the sky is gray and the streets are wet. Old-timers in Proctor, of course, know the First National Bank building as the old Date Theater. Would have been a good night to see a movie if it wasn't for COVID, because getting away from the rain is always a good thing to do when you've had it all day long. But our low-pressure system is leaving. Higher pressure settling in from the west is going to make things at least partially sunny for Wednesday, but still cool. High temp only 68 tomorrow, Tony, but we can get a lot warmer than that by the weekend, and I'll talk about how high it'll go coming up in just a little bit.
Thanks, Dave. More than 1,500 miners on the Iron Range have been out of work since the COVID-19 pandemic hit the steel industry. As unemployment benefits dwindle and deadlines inch near, there's fear from those who don't know if or even when they'll be clocking in again. In tonight's Eye on Mining, we're hearing from one area lawmaker who is stepping up to ensure those workers have something to fall back on should they need it.
Oftentimes, steel workers are the first ones hit and the last ones to come back online.
That has been the trend on the boom and bust roller coaster ride that is the mining industry. To soften the blow, Minnesota DFL Representative Julie Sandstedt is crafting a bill to extend unemployment benefits to miners who don't get called back to work.
We are hoping the bill is not going to be necessary. That is my hope, but it's really a safety net in the event the industry isn't back online or at capacity as, they may be predicting.
The bill was inspired by employees at Keetac, a U.S. Steel plant in Keewatin that has been idled indefinitely.
The reaction was kind of harsh.
That's Dan Pierce, United Steelworkers Local 2660 president, representing Keetac union members.
The word indefinite is kind of scary because we don't know when or if we're going to get called back.
Pierce has worked at Keetac for more than 20 years. He says the ups and downs are nothing new to his union, but this time around feels different.
The mine was expanding, things were booming, and all of a sudden COVID-19 and kind of things started slowing down a little bit, and then all of a sudden everything just came to a full stop.
That left more than 350 Keetac miners out of work with no idea when they could return.
When you're trying to pay a mortgage and put food on a table and you have no certainty, a bill like this helps. And it also hopefully retains people from leaving the community.
Sandsted's bill would extend unemployment benefits for 26 weeks beyond what is already in place, something Pierce says would bring comfort to his union members.
As of right now, I'm in communication with the company just about every week, and that's one of the questions I ask is if they see anything on the horizon for Keetac to restart or a timeline or anything like that. And as of right now, they don't have a timeline on when they're going to start Keetac.
While the fear of the unknown weighs on the minds of many, Pierce says having support from local lawmakers is critical now more than ever.
It's very important to have your local legislator step up to the plate and go the extra mile, and that's why we vote the way we do, to have people there if we need them to take these big challenges on.
Representative Sandsted's bill was sitting in the Jobs Committee, but since the special session at the Minnesota legislature ended overnight, the bill is technically now dead. She told us today she plans to present the bill again should the legislature meet in special session.
New at 10, starting Monday, people in Superior will have to wear masks while in indoor public spaces. The council passed the resolution tonight, with just one councilor, Keith Kern, voting no. It mandates mask wearing while indoors, in public, and on public transit. People also have to wear them in bars and restaurants, except when actively eating or drinking. Several people spoke, both for and against the mask mandate. Some said it's not the council's right to make these kinds of rules. Others said it's why they were elected.
They do have that right. They can force you to do something that is for your safety and for public safety. If you think about seat belts, that's essentially what a mask is. A mask is a seat belt against illness. A mask is a seat belt against you spreading it.
The mandate goes into effect on Monday. It expires September 25th, or when the city's state of emergency ends. Meanwhile, Cloquet joined the ranks of Northland cities with the mask mandate. At their city council meeting tonight, the mandate passed with a 5-2 vote. The mandate begins August 1st and will be in effect anywhere business is conducted with the public. They must be worn in bars and restaurants unless you're actively eating or drinking. There are medical exemptions as well. Councilors Steve Langley and Carrie Kalaji voted against the ordinance.
At this very hour, the Duluth School Board is still weighing the future of student resource officers inside Duluth schools.
Now on hour 4, board members have been hearing from student representatives and listening to public comment before they make their final decision.
We are expecting a decision tonight as it's the last day of the contract between the school and the police department. CBS 3's Brian Campo catches us up on what has been discussed so far.
The Duluth School Board took on a hot-button issue Tuesday night, the proposal to remove school resource officers from school buildings.
With the depth and breadth of our public comments today, that the recent events emphasize the need to identify and address systemic racism, which is the root cause for inequities for so many.
Public comment on the matter shows overwhelming support for the removal. Some say the money used to pay SROs should go instead towards social workers and counselors. They also want the position eliminated, as some claim minority students are treated differently by police in schools.
I'd encourage you to invest in programs that develop youth leadership and build community, and hire additional interventionists that can support students with basic needs, with the patience and understanding that those students deserve.
Meanwhile, those who support keeping SROs in schools say they are an important asset to keeping kids safe while they learn.
This gives the students a chance to see that our police are there to help them and develop lasting relationships for their future. This is one environment where kids can learn about police and break down barriers.
While both sides are passionate about the matter, board members say it's a matter they aren't taking lightly, and it's a conversation had with the best interest of students in mind.
While the SRO rule typically runs on 2-year contracts, tonight the board is deciding to either do away with the SROs altogether or approve a 1-year contract to sort out what the long-term future looks like. We will provide updates on the decision as soon as it's made. Still to come, some Minnesota school districts are waiting for state guidance for a return to school plan, but some in the Northland are taking matters into their own hands. We have the details coming up.
July usually gets 3.5 inches of rain. So far, a little bit over 5 inches here in the Twin Ports for a surplus of almost 2.5. So we're going the other direction from the first half of the year. Well, I do think this latest round of rain is wrapping up now, at least for a couple of days. I'll talk about when it could come back coming up after our break.
Extended one more week. Home Furniture has put everything on sale, and you can finance it free for 6 years. Plus, get free no-contact shipping. Shop in the store or online. 6 years, no interest, ends Sunday. Only at Home Furniture.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD. And we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that. Plus, sometimes in the rain, our services go out.
Because of the dish on your roof?
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-916-4499.
And Spectrum Internet starts at 100 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-916-4499.
If you want to begin your college education close to home and at an affordable price, consider Mesabi Range College this fall. Mesabi Range College offers the first 2 years of a 4-year degree, or we have several career and technical programs, including evening and online programs that will get you into the workforce fast. Stay home, stay safe, and save money at Mesabi Range College. Fall semester begins on August 24th, 2020. Find us online at mesabirange.edu.
Tune in Saturday mornings for the Link Ford lineup, where we will show you amazing vehicles on our lot, like this 2018 Toyota Sienna XLE with room for 8 passengers, a power liftgate, and more for just $457 a month. Or check out this 2016 Ford Explorer Platinum for only $483 a month. Want to see more? Then be sure to watch this Saturday. Visit us online at linkmotors.com or stop by either one of our 2 locations to view our complete inventory. Link Ford, where reputation is everything.
For a limited time at Home Seasonal Concepts, everything patio is on sale, and you can finance it free for 6 years. Plus, get free no-contact shipping. Shop in the store or online. No interest for 6 years. Only at Home Furniture.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Okay, let's wrap up the rain that came today because it is starting to depart, and so these numbers just might be final. And Solon Springs went up since we last spoke, almost 2.5 inches now. Ashland went up as well, almost 1.5 inches. Hibbing staying static at 1.2. Twin Ports area, 3/4 of an inch. And then Ironwood, Hayward, International Falls, 2 Harbors, all around 1/2 inch. We've been saying much needed rain for so long now. I'm wondering if we really need to say that anymore here, because we've really played a great game of catch-up around the region here in the month of July. Now we could stand a break, and we just might get one for a couple of days. Next rain chance may not get here till Friday night. What's getting here right now? Well, here are the current conditions from the airport in Duluth. 58 degrees for the current temp. 93% for the relative humidity, with a north wind going 9 miles per hour. So a north-northwest wind coming in behind a departing storm system indeed is a good sign. The storm system's departing, and air pressure's coming up too. Now we're up to 29.93 inches of mercury. Most of that severe weather did stay to our south. We'll talk about that in just about a second, but current temps in the Upper Peninsula go from 60 in Watersmeet to 65 towards Ironwood and Bessemer, and you cross over into Wisconsin, you get Hurley there as well. 63s are now found from Ashland down to Hayward. Solon Springs is dipped to 55. Superior has 59, mid to upper 50s for many Moose Lake areas there. 57 as well for Silver Bay, and Two Harbors 54. Ely, mid 50s along the Mesabi Range, and Border Country is coming down from the 60-degree mark, 55 to 59 now. And overnight low temps up there could dip into the 40s, while the rest of us bottom out in the 50s for the overnight hour. So a brief cool down before a big warm spell comes back again for the weekend. Right now, the low pressure system that brought showers and thunderstorms exiting the region, exiting Minnesota, exiting Wisconsin slowly. Iron County still getting a little line of storms going on there, but nothing to be called severe right now. We'll keep our fingers crossed that that doesn't pop up. The worst of the weather tonight did go down towards the south, towards places like Rice Lake. Well, the low pressure system is going for Wednesday. Higher pressure takes over, bringing dry conditions through Thursday. But like I mentioned, come Friday, next low pressure system brings back a decent chance for thunderstorms Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday too. Forecast tonight, it says the rain in Minnesota is going away. Low temps run 48 to 54. Into Wisconsin and Michigan, the rain will be ending in another hour and a half or so, and low temps there will be 53 to 55. Tomorrow's high temps in Wisconsin and Michigan, one more day with cooler than normal, 66 to 70, and a partly sunny sky as the high pressure takes over on day one. Minnesota gets similar sky conditions with 60 by the lake and 70 inland. Extended forecast shows day two of the high pressure brings a mostly sunny sky and a rise to 75 degrees, which then goes to 83 on Friday with the arrival of the next low pressure system, and that brings 40 to 60% chances for showers and storms through Sunday, and the return of hot and humid conditions, mid to upper 80s, even 90 Saturday, Sunday, with dew points pretty sticky as well.
Thanks, Dave. The nation's largest inline marathon, held right here in the Northland, has been canceled. It was announced the annual North Shore Inline Marathon will not go on as planned this summer due to the pandemic. The weekend full of events was set to be held September 18th through the 20th. It will now move to a virtual format. The event's board of directors decided the in-person event would be impossible with the current status of COVID-19. Athletes who are already registered have a number of options at their disposal. We have them listed on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
Next week, Minnesota leaders plan to recommend whether students should learn in the classroom or at home, or a combination of the two come this fall. But some districts aren't waiting for that announcement to make plans. CBS 3's Emma Quinn gives us an inside look at how the Proctor School District is preparing for all three scenarios.
The first day of school will be one for the history books this year, as Minnesota schools will find out next week if they'll be learning in the classroom or at the kitchen table.
We're focusing primarily on the scenario 2 and 3, which is a hybrid model and a total distance learning model.
Educators in the Proctor School District are making plans now while they wait for the state to decide how school will work. One step being taken, new cleaning equipment. Tuesday was the first day staff were able to practice using it.
What are we going to do if we have to sanitize and use disinfectant in a different manner? In February, we ordered a Clorox 360. Gosh, globally, there was such a demand that we received ours 2 weeks ago.
Other measures being taken, new social distancing signage throughout the schools, all with the Rail Strong motto in mind.
That, how people were putting X's on floors, and we wanted to brand our school as who we are and what we think of each other. And so it just makes sense to be Rail Strong and Rail Safe.
Changes are not only being made in the classroom, but here out on the ice rink and the other sports in the Proctor School District. Athletic Director Anthony Wood says they won't find out what sports will look like until at least August 4th.
I think the thing we don't know is we don't even know what sports are going to be when. Are you going to have spring in the fall? Are you going to have fall in the summer? Spring, still spring. Winter, are they going to be in the winter?
But one thing is for sure, educators are working to make school as normal as possible for students.
As of right now, the district's first day of school is set for Tuesday, September 8th. Again, state leaders plan to make an announcement on plans for this fall sometime next week.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, surviving the coin shortage, how a Wisconsin bank is getting creative to keep change in your pocket.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
As an orthopedic surgeon, my subspecialty is sports medicine, which is mostly arthroscopic procedures, so doing procedures that are minimally invasive. The reason the patient should come to Memorial Medical Center is that we're going to offer a unique combination of having experienced surgeons, plus having a hospital that is willing to support us with the most technologically advanced equipment, and then also having an administration that supports the type of health care that we would like to deliver.
Hi, I'm Stephen Ray. At Miners National Bank, we offer local originating, local processing, local closing, and local servicing. For your next mortgage, apply now. minersmortgage.com. Miners National Bank of Evelyn, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We dance for healing. We dance for one another. For connection. In ways like no other. Together. Or even apart. We are resilient. The 2020 census is here, and we need to do our part for our people.
It's the Ram Summer Clearance Event only at Duluth Dodge. Lease a new Ram Warlock Northwoods Edition for only $228. It's another Duluth Dodge Blue Ribbon lease. Only at the new Duluth Dodge, 4755 Miller Trunk Highway, or DuluthDodgeMinnesota.com.
Helping to make memories for generations. Numi Jewelers.
When news breaks, be the first to know with CBS 3. Alerting you with our mobile app, taking you live to the scene.
A lot of protesters walking.
Bringing you complete coverage on air. Showing you what's happening now, what's next, how it affects you.
There's a massive fire. We have a crew there live
Focused
now.
on urgency. Focused on accuracy. When news breaks in your neighborhood, be the first to know. With live, local CBS 3.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Classic Rock KQ is once again the Northland's #1 radio station. The KQ Morning Show, the most listened to radio program in the Northland. The KQ Train Wreck, the Northland's #1 afternoon show. Thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. 95 KQDS.
A Wisconsin bank has come up with a creative way to help local businesses amid the coronavirus pandemic and the coin shortage it has caused.
The Community State Bank has launched a coin buyback program. People who turn in $100 worth of change to one of the bank's 7 locations will get a $5 bonus. Whether you're a bank customer or not, you can receive a bonus of up to $500. The bank says hundreds of people have already dropped off their spare change, and some have brought in coins without asking for anything back. The shortage was a result of the partial closure of the economy, which halted the flow of coins. The bank says it will continue the program until there is no longer a demand.
Coming up in sports, a high school conference in Wisconsin makes a major change to their fall sports season. Could the Big Rivers Conference follow suit? Kelly Hinseth has the answer. Coming up next.
Eye on Mining is brought to you by Iron Mining Association, Range Regional Airport, and Miners National Bank of Evelyn.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
This thing is really dusty.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS 3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS 3 Duluth.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
That's a standing ovation.
And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it.
You're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on live local CBS 3.
The 2020 Subaru Crosstrek. It comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus an economical 33 miles per gallon. And the Crosstrek has the lowest 5-year cost to own in its class for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek.
Lease a new 2020 Subaru Crosstrek Premium for $329 a month. See the versatile Crosstrek today at Miller Hill Subaru. Online at millerhill.com.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
As we wait for the MSHSL and the WIAA to make official rulings about the future of high school sports in their respective states this fall, one conference in Wisconsin took matters into their own hands earlier today. The Big 8 Conference, a large conference of Madison area schools, canceled all their conference games for the fall, which includes football. It's the first domino of many potential others to fall as the season hangs in the balance of the COVID-19 pandemic. Teams in the Big 8 will still be able to schedule non-conference games if health and safety guidelines allow. The WIAA Board of Control has a meeting scheduled for Thursday morning to discuss this very topic. We reached out to Superior's Athletic Director Ella Olson today about how she's feeling about the possibility of football for the Spartans this fall.
Do I wish that we could have thousands of fans out at this complex in a few weeks? Absolutely, I wish that. But I also know that we need to do things safely. And as a district, a county, a state, we need to make sure that any players, whatever happens with them, that they're safe and they're getting taken care of. And our coaches too, and our staff, our people taking tickets, our line judges, everything. We know that the population would love to watch football games too, but it's not as easy as that right now, which is the problem.
And Olson says the virus isn't the only thing they're worried about. A recent survey on mental health by the WIAA produced some results that caught her attention as well.
It came back alarming of, the feeling that these athletes are having. We know that sports can drive people's lives, and they can drive a kid to say, I got to go to school today because I've got football practice, or I can't just skip class because then I can't golf in my meet tonight. So we know that sports have a huge impact on kids' lives.
The NAHL entry draft was earlier today, a big chance for amateur hockey players under the age of 21 to find a home playing junior hockey. And with the 203rd overall pick in the 8th round, the Minnesota Wilderness selected Charlie Erickson, the former Duluth East Greyhound forward. In his senior season, Erickson captained the Greyhounds and tallied 25 points. 12 of them were goals. Goaltender Carter Clafton from Grand Rapids was also selected 40th overall by the Danbury Junior Hat Tricks in Connecticut. And while other NBA teams are gearing up for the NBA bubble playoffs, the Timberwolves are looking for the highest possible bidder. T-Wolves owner Glenn Taylor has hired the Range Group to explore a sale of the NBA franchise. There's not much else we know at this time except that Sportico is saying that Taylor is seeking $1.2 billion for the franchise. Tony and I already tried to figure it out if we could buy it. It's not going to work out financially. And that former Timberwolves legend Kevin Garnett has been mentioned by multiple sources as an interested buyer as well, as is Ziggy Wilt, the owner of the Minnesota Vikings. Seriously, we crunched the numbers earlier today. We can't buy the Timberwolves. Some academic awards are in order for UMD athletics. Both sophomore forward Tanner Latteru and freshman goaltender Ryan Fanti were named AHCA All-American Scholars. It is Latteru's second year in a row garnering the honor. First time for Fanti. In order to achieve All-American status, athletes must attain a 3.75 GPA for the fall semester and participate in 40% of their school's games. Haley Rendell of UMD Track and Field has been named a U.S. Track and Field NCAA Division II All-American athlete. The entire UMD Track and Field team was recognized as All-American Track and Field team, having accumulated the 3.36 GPA for the men's squad and a 3.66 GPA for the women. Rendell was set to make her second national indoor appearance at the 2020 NCAA Division II Indoor Track and Field Championships in Pittsburgh, Kansas, before the suspension of competition due to COVID-19 this spring. That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
I have lost 25 pounds and I'm still going strong. Super easy. You follow the program and you lose weight. It's just that simple.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Tune in Saturday mornings for the Link Ford lineup, where we will show you amazing vehicles on our lot, like this 2018 Toyota Sienna XLE with room for 8 passengers, a power liftgate, and more for just $457 a month. Or check out this 2016 Ford Explorer Platinum for only $483 a month. Want to see more? Then be sure to watch this Saturday. Visit us online at linkmotors.com or stop by either one of our 2 locations to view our complete inventory. Link Ford, where reputation is everything.
I want people to tune in and I want them to see a friend because I'm a mother and I know how hard it could be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Our Northland may not have the longest severe weather season, but it does come around every now and then. I'm hoping folks will keep an eye to the sky and on Channel 3 here this summer if severe weather threatens. Austin Haskins, Caitlin Moffat, and I will keep our eyes glued to the radar. We'll break in if you need to hear about the latest storm developments. We'll work together to keep our region safe.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS3.
Things are slowly starting to get back to normal. But our fight against COVID-19 isn't over yet. St. Luke's and Essentia Health are asking for your help. Whenever you will be around others who do not live with you, please wear a mask. This will help to protect everyone in our community. Masking continues to be one of the best defenses against the virus. Masks make a difference. On behalf of Essentia Health and St. Luke's, thank you.
I never thought that you could lose weight without working out, but this is one of those programs that you don't have to work out.
In the first 40 days, I lost 28 pounds.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Mainstream is your wedding headquarters. Downtown Duluth.
All right, Dave, is tomorrow going to be as gloomy as today was?
No, it's going to be halfway better.
Okay.
And you know, some folks just love a gray sky, and it was nice and cool, and it was a nice break from the really hot weather. And tomorrow will be another break from the hot weather. It'll be partly sunny and 68. Then for sun lovers, it comes back Thursday, and we go back to 75, which sounds pretty warm, but that's still 2 degrees cooler than normal. Back towards hot and humid, though, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good luck, folks. It may be a bit steamy.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Facts.